This video is sponsored by Cruiseman's Garage Honda Goldwing Maintenance Video Series. Here it is, live and in person, all the way back to Dallas from Tennessee. Cruiseman wanted to get a new bike. He went to Tennessee, got it, left this one there, and someone who lives here went to Tennessee and brought it back.
So you can imagine my surprise and my joy when I pulled up to breakfast at a wake and saw my beloved 2018 Honda Goldwing sitting there. And this was purchased by a local rider who insisted that he buy my used 2018 Goldwing from Southern Honda Powersports in East Ridge, Tennessee. How cool is that?
Well, somebody didn't feel like mixing their check fresh.
Back home where it belongs. We got a really early start this morning at 6 a.m. at Einstein Brothers, which is right next door to a wake. And we were joined by Road Glide. Most of you know Road Glide. Tom Miller joined us. He's there in the shirt and tie because he goes to church right after he meets us for breakfast. And if you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, make sure you check out Tom's Goldwing Adventures. Of course, Don Smith was there sitting at the end of the table, kind of hidden behind Tom right now. And in the light yellow shirt, talking to Don right now, is Brian, and he is the proud new owner of my previous 2018 Honda Goldwing Tour. And last to the table with his cup of coffee is Robert White. You know Robert White Moto. Great YouTube channel. Make sure you check it out if you haven't done so already. The reason some of us get together at Einstein's before we go over to a wake is because Einstein's opens at 6 a.m. on Sunday and a wake doesn't open until 7 a.m. So this is kind of like the meeting before the meeting. We just sit around, have coffee. Sometimes I'll eat a bagel. I think Brian's having a bagel this morning, but most people wait until we get over to a wake to have breakfast. When 7 o'clock rolls around, we start making our way back to the parking lot to take a look at the bikes now that the sun is coming up. And we just kind of enjoy talking motorcycles, looking at the bikes, especially my 2018 Honda Goldwing, which I'm very familiar with.
And look at the valve stamp. That's yours.
The red?
Cruiseman special.
Yeah.
Anodized.
Now, Brian, the new owner of the 2018, did not want to be interviewed on camera, but off camera he did tell me he had a really good experience with Southern Honda Powersports. He was able to meet with Kyle, who I've done business with, and he, I think, is very happy. He insisted on getting my previous Goldwing.
Case in point for taking care of
pinstripes, the wheel pinstripes.
Once we went inside a wake for breakfast, we were joined by some other riders and friends. Some of them you know, some were new. David joined us, of course. Jeff was there, and Tom. And then Adam showed up. I thought he was on his way to Alaska. And Steve also joined us. Good to see everybody. We had a great time. Everybody, I think, enjoyed meeting each other. After breakfast, we all head back out to the parking lot now that the sun is fully up. It's about 8:30 in the morning by now, and we wanted to take one last look at everybody's bikes, get some photos, maybe some video. We like to check out all the aftermarket accessories that everybody's added to their various bikes. Of course, nothing compares with Road Glide and all the lights and stuff he's got on his bike. It's pretty cool. So this is just a chance to hang out and check everything out and compare bikes. And then after this, Robert had brought his drone with him and wanted to get some drone shots of me on my new 2024 Goldwing. So we headed back out north to FM 455, which we've been on before, and found a little deserted strip of road where he could get out his drone and get some pretty incredible shots.
You always have to do this.
This is not a new dance step that Robert's teaching me. He's actually calibrating the drone.
It's kind of stuck in this calibration mode, and I don't know what's going on with it. It won't get out of this 5th of 5 steps.
What if you just reboot the whole thing?
Yeah, maybe that's...
After rebooting the drone, we finally got everything working, and it was time to get some of the shots you'll see here. First, Robert wanted to test out the helix function built into the DJI drone. Next, Robert had me position the bike out on the road, just sitting, looking off to the left, and use the drone's helix function to just kind of elevate above me as it spins around me 360 degrees. You'll notice in the first few seconds of the video, you can actually see the shadow of the drone on the roadway. Now, I didn't want that shadow in the final shot, so I did some editing to push in on the image of me on the bike, and then I slowly backed it off so that it would come back to the normal video once the shadow was out of the picture. You can see here the drone moves pretty slow, so I thought to make it a little bit more dramatic, I would add some more editing in post to do some speed ramps to make it look just a little more interesting. And here is the final edit.